So, you want my opinion on this matter of why most black people are going to suffer unless they do one thing. How you doing, guys? It's me, Anthony. How you doing? The Bull. It is what it is, what I'm about to say. So you want my opinion because you obviously want it if you click this button. So I'm going to tell you why. And it's simple why most black people are going to suffer unless they do this one thing. And it's simple, I hate to say. I mean, I might have to break it down to you guys, but no offense, this is just my opinion. It's not attacking any black people or y'all black people or whatever the heck you call yourself. It is what it is it is what it is. It's my opinion. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to be liked, but it's respectfully my opinion. So this is just a talk out, and this is also like a leader talking, which I'm doing right now, or whatever the heck this is. But yeah. Anyways, I have to break it down so you guys can understand why I'm coming from this, and it's obviously the most easiest answer and obvious answer of why most of you black people, no offense, African Americans or whatever you call yourself, are going to suffer for eternity and more and no more. Why? It's simple. It's believing that God, aka Jesus, is white. And you guys gotta learn to accept that. Now, no offense, Jesus can be any color. Alright? He can even be black, he can be Mexican color, he can be yellow, he can be anything. No one's ever seen God face to face or seen or anything like that unless you enter the afterlife or whatever, or heaven or whatever. That's the only way you're gonna know. And I hate to say it, he could not be white. But sadly for most black people, which goes down way back to slavery days, why? They can't accept a white Jesus and serving it a white Jesus, or doing anything with a white Jesus, because of the obvious ego of thinking that God is only black. Alright, let's get one thing straight. I'm not racist. I'm Puerto Rican, a little mix of Italian and Jewish. And on all that, I know what it is to come from all the stuff y'all black people are going through, which I'm going through, my people also going through it. And I'm sorry, it's gonna hurt you, but it's the truth. It's the truth, man. I'm sorry, man. It's the truth. The truth will set you free. That's all I gotta say. I'm not no preacher, no pastor. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. This is just an opinion, and this is just something to talk about that should be talked about, that we can spread aware and get rid of this problem that's going on. Hopefully, but in a positive way, not a negative, a positive way. And then, yeah, here I go, I'm breaking it down. So, I wouldn't mind serving a black Jesus. I wouldn't mind serving a light-skinned Jesus. I wouldn't mind serving a green Jesus. Orange, red. Yep, red. It don't matter. I will serve Jesus just because he's Jesus. And he's from the Holy Bible. So, I might be a little biased because I'm Puerto Rican, but which I know you guys are talking, most black people or whatever, us people of me, are talking about when it comes to, doing the whole God thing with Jesus or color or whatever the heck. Yeah, just know I don't care. I don't care what color Jesus is, as long as it's the real Jesus from the Holy Bible, and who I talk to spiritually, that personal spiritually. Now I'm here, but maybe it's examples in it. But yeah, I don't care. I will take Jesus any day as anything. I don't care. I will do it. I don't care if he's black too. I'll still serve Jesus. It is what it is. No offense, God. But yeah. Sorry. But yeah, the reason why I don't think black people are gonna accept Jesus for white, and which not really a big thing, but it could be in a certain way of retaliation. But the reason is it goes way, way back since slavery days. So guys, hear me out on this opinion, and please like, and if I did a good job at telling how it is on this channel, and obviously subscribe if you're new so you can hear more of whatever the heck this is or whatever, and my game channels and my other channels of things I do on my this channel for other sources. So this is the thing. It goes back to slavery. Now we all know slavery. Most of you black people should know this, obviously. Ever since slavery days, there's a lot of hate and anger towards white people because of how they hang you guys, or black people I'm talking about, but also everybody else. Yeah, ever since that happened, of hanging black people and torturing them and doing all this other crazy stuff, and then making them do slavery stuff, it's just something that I know for a fact that it's something that most black people are not going to accept. They're always going to be pissed about, and they're always going to be having that pain of like, I want to kick his ass for what he did, you know, all that emotion of hate on white people because of what they did, which wrongfully, it is wrong what they did, and I'm with the black people on this one. So if you did something to my uncle, my you know, if I was in those times, and I'm like, you know, you hang him right in front of me and making me do stuff that I don't want to do, I would be pissed like hell if I had to see that and go through that. I would be scarred, but I also would be pissed. And yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. I would just fight him if I ever came to slavery, going me in slavery days somehow, or being black or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff is still here until this day with black people, and that's obvious reason why they're pissed and kicking every white people's asses and shit like that because of that shit. So, and because black people are not going to settle down for that in America, they you know, it's a thing. Like, it is what it is. Like, it evolved to a whole nother episode with cops and everything doing slavery, all white stuff, like hating black people for doing things like sitting at a bar or something like a restaurant, all because of their black. You know the story. So, and it's not just that why most black people are going to be screwed unless they believe in the white Jesus or any color Jesus. This is the reason. This is where it goes back. It's because America keeps putting advertisements of it and celebrating it, even though I think it's all right. It's not really a big deal. I would just consider it a holiday, but I wouldn't advertise it unless it's needed. But because of bringing that whole stuff that most American people on holidays, Black Lives, you know, those holidays with Martin Luther King, you know, it's just never going to go away if you keep putting it back and putting it down their throats. I'm sorry, it's not going to go away. You're just making it worse. And they need to stop doing that and just consider it a holiday, and that's it. Don't put no advertisements. If you're going to put advertisement, you're going to have to do it in a black way. Not anything. Like, you have to go Ryan Coogler on that thing. So you can, you know, and it will have to be like, let's all drink champagnes and everything like that. Not like, oh, America, we will always follow American rules of black people. Stuff like that is bullshit, and they're just never going to give up on it if you keep freaking promoting it. So, yeah, that's one reason why, which is another reason why black people hate white people, because of that whole thing of slavery. And that's one of them. The other one is, I'm trying to think of what it was. Hold on, I think it just slipped out of my mind. I don't know. Let me see. man, boy. Obviously the slavery one, and that, trying to think on. Alright, bear with me. I'm thinking. I forget things sometimes. Hold on. Damn, yeah, I got nothing. Best thing I could think of is just having most black people um underrated these days. Like the way these commercials and everything, advertisements, talking in white manners, and even making other black people talk white manners in commercials. That's another reason why most black people hate white people, because of that whole slavery, because of all of everything of not accepting white Jesus as their thing, because of that bullshit. Commercials, in other words, I'm talking about stuff like that. Like, it just skews the whole thing of black people. And there's other reasons, just like not giving back to black people, like, I don't know, like putting money in their accounts or something, or doing something that makes them go from here with all white, privileged, rich white people over here. Yeah, they're over here. You know why? Because white people made it that way. Because in slavery, which we all know, white people are slave people and doing all those things to black people. And because whenever when Lincoln first got black people out of slavery, what do you think was going to happen if they just go somewhere? Like, they can't. And because there was jobs, I imagine they had no other choice but to continue working through slavery, but through another word that we all gotta go through that sucks. Working for the man, and also jobs. As white people had a head start versus black people that just started. And if you think about it deeply, it's white people that got the more privileges and more power and authority and time, because they obviously probably made money off of black people, from black people working, or slavery, or whatever, if you know what I mean. And yeah, because of that, they were always here, and black people were over here. And the only way they're going to survive is to get at least right here. And because of time going on and on and on, that thing rose, and black people have just been a little bit moving up. And they're way, you got white people still here. It goes on. Because that's how the system was back in the days of slavery and all that, with first jobs coming out, or even just slavery job or whatever. They were never the equal. They were always trying to survive. Which, ironically, most black people should thank white people for this. Ironically, because they did all those crazy works and exercises and crazy jobs with fields, gardening, mowing lawns, with hay and everything. Yeah, that stuff actually made them stronger in a crazy way. It's called metabolism, people. Yeah. Their bodies, from the heat of the sun and the hard work they put in of doing their best to survive, doing that, evolution made their bodies to now here a step at a better way of kicking ass, basically. Because if you think about it, black people did all the work during slavery, and the white guy just stands there. So because of his fat butt doing nothing and them doing stuff, as time moved on, black people's metabolism went up, up, up. And now today, that's why you see most UFC fights or boxing of black people and other things, because their bodies were evolutionized, having higher metabolism, which metabolism is like having you just lose weight and you're fast and everything. You're not powerful, you're fast, and that edge of which I think is like a weird curse but a blessing in a way, is the reason why most white people lose in a fight No offense. Some white people do kick black people here and there. Not all of them are like that. Everybody's different, but the majority is that because of that whole work they did. Evolution just made their bodies more stronger, and in a way, I would be thanking them for that one because I'd be kicking ass at UFCs if anything if I was black, which I kind of am, but not like that. But you know what I mean, skin wise. But yeah, ever since that, in an ironic way, plus black people got blessed by God on that one in a surprising way. I don't know, could be, but ever since those things happened, I have to say, it's good, but it's also bad. As time grew on, black people were struggling just to get ends meet, beyond ends meet. And that's why, like, nowadays you see, like, most of them, like, doing good things because, well, America got better, but they also went to college and all that, but they did it the hard way. But most of black people, like, I hate to say it, the system screwed you guys. The cops, yeah. Everybody, mayor, politics, you guys had to go from here, when white people over here, and you waited to here, and now it's like a battle, but most people are right here, so it's like, the government screwed them. And I would be pissed too, if anything, and that's another reason why black people are pissed, or at least I think they are, or should be. Well, kind of, but you know what I mean. But yeah, stuff like that is why black people hate white people or any race that's going on. And I hate to say this, but it's gonna get realer. Get ready for some real stuff. This is some real talk stuff right here, guys. So when all that was going on with slavery and jobs and trying to get ends meet, and you guys getting good bodies, fighting and working and fighting UFCs, got more things, but a lot of things just went downhill from that. The thing is, when that happened, I'm trying to remember, hold on, bear with me. What was it? Oh yeah, it's the reason why black people hate is because of those things, and because they hate those things, like, this is the thing, you gotta look at it perspective wise on black and white. You white people gotta put yourself in black people's shoes, think outside the box. And black people, y'all gotta understand and go on the white side also, which is another thing I highly doubt you do. But this is another reason, and this is the thing, like, now black people are just like screwing themselves because it's all black on black violent fights and everything, and they just like robbing stores and everything. And I hate to say it, I'm like them, like, I don't like jobs. It's slavery on that one, if anything. But sadly, we were put in a system that has to be like that. And the white people are most likely up there, which I just showed you, which I call the elites, or some Illuminati or somebody. Yeah, those guys are up there, and they don't have to do anything because they screwed the black people, and that's why they had a head start ever since slavery. So that's why most black people are pissed. And I wouldn't blame them either. I'm kind of pissed at myself on that one. But sadly, it is what it is, and now everything's jobs nowadays. And I hate to say it, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but the poor ones are sadly the black community people, and also Puerto Rican. We have some stuff too. So, but I don't know. It is what it is. Like, they screwed the black people, and ever since that Rodney King beat down with cops hitting on black people, like, that's the thing. Like, the slavery days. Most of the jobs starting out, black people were like put in a way, in a system of certain ways that the white people put them in, that is called the hood. And yeah, they just treat them like it is what it is. White people were racist back in those days, and they actually did hit black people. So, but as time goes on, if you notice stuff like stories with Tupac and Biggie, black people said screw it and we're gonna fight back, and That's when like Martin Luther King had to step in and all that. But don't get it twisted, black people. If Martin Luther King was here, he'd be telling y'all to cut the crap with the N-words and stop hurting yourself. And that's the thing. You guys are so pissed that now it's become in a chaos of crimes and everything because you're mad and don't want to work a job because of low benefits, which is money, pay low, and it feels like slavery. And all those things that the white people did, cops and everything that's still going on, they're still doing, and that's the stuff that makes them like, screw this, we're going rebellion mode, you know? And that's why they're looting and stealing and kicking each other's asses, and I mean white people's asses, but mostly, well, I hate to say that there's black on black violent things going on now in the black community. And yeah, it's just my opinion on it. It's just like they had it. They don't want to do any of that stuff. And hell, for all we know, our black races and slavery, which I talked to a black girl about this, interesting conversation. Black people probably didn't believe in Jesus. They didn't even know who Jesus was. They were just starting out trying to survive and stuff like that. You know, the black people wonder, is it like that? Because, you know, I hate to say this, but it gets realer, man. They probably believe in a black figure, if anything, if they're gonna trust the world and have peace. Because there's no way in hell they're gonna try to look up to a white person, and a white, no offense, God, I'm just doing this for educational reasons and process of infos. But yeah, like the white people consider Jesus white. And when it comes to the color of art, well, I'll get back into that. But yeah, we don't want a white Jesus. Black people don't want to accept that. And if anything, they'd rather accept, and if they do accept, which is probably the best way, is to accept a black Jesus. But the thing with that, it's nowadays black people are like Muslims and all that and other things, and someone just don't even know what Jesus is, and someone just like, who cares? We're gonna go with Satan on this one, and they always want to party and stuff. But that kind of mentality is what they're forced in and screwed with, and at the same time they're their own worst enemy nowadays, now versing themselves and crazy violent gang fights and all that and chaos. It's just going crazy because they can't accept that, man. They're hurt and they're just tired of the bullshit. So I wouldn't blame them, but at the same time there are people doing it for the wrong reasons nowadays, criminals in other words, which I guess that's what they call it, everything when you go, yeah. But yeah, there are evil black people that are doing evil things, like P. Diddy with child rape, which I think is straight up messed up and just not right. But at the same time, like, if you think about it, you know, they're doing all this stuff because they're tired of the white people doing bullshit stuff at them. And, you know, it is what it is. They gotta survive, and now they're like, I hate to say it, black people or black community, you guys are your own worst enemy. And I don't blame you. I know you want to get help. I know you want to end the pain and everything. But there's only one thing that you guys gotta do in order to save yourself from suffering. Because this world revolves around karma. And you know what they say? Karma is So, the thing with that is, if you think about it, there's a lot of rappers now that are black, and they're doing like all this satanic stuff with Illuminati, throwing sixes and all that stuff with dark stuff. And if you think about it, black people believed in a leader or a god that's black. And there's only one, it gets crazy. When it comes to black and white, the colors, if you look it up in art and art physical therapy, I saw that has meaning, colors meanings. White stands for purity and innocence, which is white people, which is what should be white Jesus. So And that's what it says in the art thing. I'm not making this up. There's, if you type in Google, type in what white color means, the meaning behind white color, it tells you stands for innocence and purity. Now, this is where it gets really crazy. Now, the black side of black, the color, if you look it up on physical therapy or whatever, of the color meaning, black stands for evil. It also stands for what's it called? Through the art, color meaning. What was it? Oh yeah, mourning. Like people dying. I guess like a lot of people that die have to wear black out of respect or something like that. And yeah, so there's stuff like that, and other things like death and all that black resembles throughout this world of the color meanings. But yeah, one of the color meaning is evil, and it said that on the art color. Unless white people got it changed just to mess with you guys, I don't know, but I highly doubt it because it does make sense. Because if you think about it, white impurity, that would be Jesus, our Jesus. And God, if you think about God, he's a good God, not a bad one. But because white people can't accept that, which most, not all, some already have, luckily, but most, they rather believe in a God of the satanic. Straight up, because he's black. It's a black God. And the only black God that's evil, which is the color black, is Satan. Crazy, right? Yeah, it gets deeper than that. So why? Because all the bullshit that white people did to black people in the day, screwing them with the system and everything, they feel rebellious and they feel like we gotta kick some ass at these guys, and we're not gonna take it. And they have that pain, and I imagine you guys are pissed at that shit. And I feel like the only way this is gonna work, like you feel like, you know, screw it, we're gonna go with a black God and, you know, do some stuff and, you know, kick their ass or whatever. And stuff like that is why you will always suffer. If you look at karma, if you do positive things come to you. But if you do negative things come to you. And those negative things are black people believe in Satan and go with Satan, or some type of black figure that most of the religions warn about through God and Catholicism or whatever the heck back in those days. And yeah, black stands for evil, the color, remember? Yeah. And what are black people? Their skin? Well, not really black, but more like caramel black. Black people are black, obviously. So it makes sense to go with a black God, but the problem with that is they want to believe in Satan. And if you look around music, TV shows, you'll see most black people are famous rappers with big chains and everything, and all this bang bang and stuff, and it should not be glorified. It should not, because the thing with karma, it works on what you do. So if you see a black guy shoot a white guy, while the white guy did something bad to the black guy, and he kills him, that karma is going to come back to the black guy, because karma goes off actions. So the more you shoot people, regardless of justice or not, that karma is going to come back to you. And in a way, if you keep doing that, you're just bringing more negativity into your life. And it even says in the Bible, you reap what you sow. So positive, which is white, which is messed up, but sadly it is, if you do good things, positive things come at you. And that's the purity that white has. So if you think about it, like the more black people do all these crazy things, which you see on TV, like hitting other guys, shooting, popping, ecstasy and all that they glorify what sadly you guys should not. And I hate to say this, you guys think you're gonna go somewhere good in afterlife, whatever your gods. Yeah, that's just. And if you try, it's just not gonna happen, dude. You're putting more negativity in your life, and it's just gonna keep coming back at you again. The more you do it, the more it comes at you. And the only way to stop it is to accept peace in your heart. Accept God as He is. Don't go with Satan. That thing, yeah, I understand. Maybe Satan can save you guys and kick all the white people out of here or whatever whatever, and you guys go to heaven and everything and all, save the world. I guess. Hey, who knows? Maybe you guys get saved. We save the world or something. But at the end of the day, the devil is not the way. Why? Because the devil's a liar. As if you hear in the streets, the devil tells all lies. That's why you see all this satanic stuff. It's stuff to like get you pulled into him. And he's the most negative person there is. And because you keep pouring into it, more negative stuff, he's going to be laughing, throwing negative things back at you. And who knows, you might even if you do satanic stuff, like, bro, I've been satanic. I know how it is. I hate freaking life, and I know you guys, black people, are feeling that. When it comes down to it, you don't want to go having scratches on your skin from demons and everything. Nah, don't do that. Nah. You don't want to get possessed, because that's what happens. When you get possessed, and which is something the devil's going to try to do, and is going to laugh at you, black people, because you keep doing it, and feeding into it, the more negative things, and that negative thing that the devil's going to lie to, which you see all money and all that, yeah, it's all lies. No rappers or anything are making like that stuff. It's all broken down to an Illuminati thing, I think. But if you think about it, it's just contracts that they're using to make you do something and look good. And that's what record labels do. They try to make it look rich and stuff like that so you can get the whole thing. So it's like a big team, basically. But at the end of it, it's not. It's Satan lied to you. You now are in control from him. And once he gets you with that possession of demonic stuff, it's yeah, even if this is true, you still gotta live with a demon inside you, and yeah, you will eventually get possessed. And I hate to say this, the demon's gonna take over. Yep, because you keep giving it to Satan, so he's gonna put more things bad into you, and he's gonna make you do things, and it's gonna be his army of demons that are gonna be in. Hey, sorry about that. Sorry. Hey guys. Hey, sorry about that. I got cut off in one of my videos. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm gonna put this video on another one. Sorry about that. I got cut off because I accidentally hit my button to phone mode, take a picture, and by accident, by touching the screen, trying to take off something off of it. So, but yeah, I'm back. We're back. All right. So this is the thing. The whole thing with Satan, right? Black people, white color, black color. This is the thing, guys. He's gonna do that possession on you, and you, as a person, you'll be in the body when you get possessed, but it'll be like something like it'll drifting in the air, like that movie. What was it called? Get Out. It'll be like that, like the girl hypnosis thing. Except that hypnosis person of her doing is actually a demon, and you're gonna be in the fog somewhere trying to free your way out, but you can't because they're in control of you now, and you're just like right there. So yeah, you will probably get the money and fame and all that, but it's gonna cost, and at the same time, it's gonna be different, and it's gonna cost you your whole life and for eternity, and that is something that I wouldn't recommend, because then you're probably going to be dead after that. Yeah, it is what it is. We're going to be fighting an army of demons one day with Revelation. I feel like this is what it is, guys. And the more you black people do stupid stuff with crimes or associate yourself with criminal people, and you don't do this one thing that most of you guys don't want to accept, which I understand you don't want to accept. You have to accept that there's a white Jesus and he's your God and you got to serve him, whether you like it or not. Because if you don't, you're going to hell. That's just where it's going to happen. And the more you do negative things and get into satanic stuff or get into people or whatever, it's just going to lead up to demon possession, and you're just going to lose your life. Like faster than you think, because the devil's going to take your soul. I'm sorry, but that's just what's going to happen, because karma is going to keep creating that. And they even said it in the Bible. So this is the thing. You guys, black people, I'm sorry for saying this, but this is the only way that you can get away from this. Because the more you don't accept white Jesus as your God, not all you guys, some of you guys know what I'm talking about, but most of you black people, which I imagine, if you don't accept God as a white God, then, which I imagine you're not going to give in to God, because not only do you got to believe in God, you also got to put in work for God. And I know you don't want to believe in white God because he's white, which makes sense because white color is innocent. So that's, and so, but if this is gonna help, you're gonna have to accept it. If you want to get away from the chaos that's going on these crazy days with LA riots and everything, it's either you accept it and work through God's way and go through heaven and everything, or you suffer last into oblivion of chaos, negativity, demon possession, and ultimately your life. And dead, jail, and you just keep doing it, and eventually you're probably going to kill yourself or something, because it's that bad. But sadly, the only way out is through God. It is what it is. And even though, which I think you guys, if it helps, or at least once you get strong enough of understanding and accepting things, try to think of it as a black Jesus. Use a black Jesus to motivate you to do the Bible. And go by the Holy Bible, by the way, because this lists everything about God and everything, which is stuff you got to do to go to heaven. And look at the whole history or something, and read it all and do it all and live on with black Jesus, if there's a black Jesus. But once you get to that and you still don't feel it, like, keep doing it till at least you accept a white Jesus, at least. Because if you don't, and you're just going to get kicked out of heaven, because no way God's going to accept negativity in his life, in his heaven. No offense, I'm talking about, like, dark things that you're going to do because you don't want to be with him, and you're accepting to get away from him because you don't want to accept him because of that one certain thing, which you got to get over your ego on that or whatever, because you just, at the end of the day, you're just being your own worst enemy. And that's what it is. That's the thing. You guys got to accept the white Jesus. There's no other way. And you have to believe in God. You got to read the Holy Bible, work through the Holy Bible. Just don't even think of it as slavery, because really the Bible is way, way before slavery. So if anything, it is what it is. The scriptures, look at those things, if anything. Don't go by, like, white people saying, well, I understand, but at least give it a shot with the scriptures and do it. Because if you don't do these things, you're obviously not working with God. You're obviously made up your mind and said, screw God, white, whatever white thing or whatever white. And sadly, you're just going to get back to karma and go straight with Satan and perish and live a hellish life. And live in chaos your whole life until you die, end up in jail, and that's it. It is what it is. And that can all be prevented if you believe in Jesus. You don't have to go by any color. Like, most people don't even know who he is, so we could all be wrong on this one. Even I got to accept that too. I'll accept the black Jesus. I don't care. He's Jesus, then that's all that matters, man. But if you can't accept the white Jesus, then you're screwed. There's no way you're going to ever get out of this cycle, and you will only suffer in the cycle for eternity. So that's the one thing that I think most of you black people, not all black people, most should do, is at least work your way to accepting a white Jesus and go through God and live through God. And that's it. Which I'm not going to lie, I'm a sinner right now. I'm still working on it. But I'm trying to get to a point where I'm going to get rich off this channel and also use the energy to give back to the community and help everyone with some stuff and somehow use both and combine them down the way and work my way up and go by the Bible and try to move here, there, and build my relationship there, and one way get to that one point that I'm there and I'm happy and everything. But obviously I gotta go by the Holy Bible in order for that to happen, and I gotta believe in God, and I gotta have that thing of keep going. And so if a black Jesus is my God, I'll accept it. I don't care. As long as it's Jesus, that's all that matters to me. And that's that. But yeah, there you go. Probably blowing on your mind. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's black people, no offense. You just gotta accept the white Jesus, whether you like it or not. Otherwise, you're screwed. But that's if you do that. But sadly, this is the only way, and it's going through God. And that's it. So that's my little talk for today. Whatever talk. See you on the next whatever the hell I post. No offense. Please, God bless you, black people. God bless everyone. God bless white people, everybody. Black, white, screw the black, let's put the white. Innocence, purity. It is what it is. Till then, I'll see you in the next one, guys. See you later, Bull Nation. Peace. Stay free. Peace.